was 2021, the depths of the pandemic, and I was catching up with a friend over Zoom and telling them about my recently acquired TikTok addiction. I was spending hours and hours on TikTok, just lying in bed late at night when I should be going to sleep. It was quite bad, but the one silver lining was that I was finding these ADHD TikToks quite helpful and relevant and relatable, and I was like, even though I don't have ADHD, I still really like these ADHD TikToks. And my friend said, "Oh, are you sure? Have you ever thought that you might have ADHD?" And I said, "Me? No. Me? ADHD? No, come on." Long story short, about a month later, I was diagnosed with a combined type ADHD. So I'm recording this video while I'm walking to work, because it is an unseasonably, actually nice day here in London. Also, I'm Patrick. Hi, nice to meet you. I have ADHD. I live in London, though I am American, but I wanted to make this video to share my ADHD journey for anyone out there who might be going through their own ADHD journey themselves, whether they think they might have ADHD, they're going through the diagnosis process, or they're thinking about taking medication, or even if you've, like me, been diagnosed for a few years now. I always love sharing and hearing from other neurodivergent people their own experiences, because we're all so weird and unique in our own ways, but at the same time often have these really funny, similar kind of anecdotes, and we always love to ramble, so I'm going to be doing a lot of that in this video. If you like this video, feel free to like it. If you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, feel free to subscribe, and yeah, bye. See you in a bit. Look at these lovely berries. I think I had a pretty normal childhood, but I think there were some isolated incidents that were just kind of unexplained. I'd always forget my homework in elementary school, and my family lived a 5-minute walk from school, so in the evening after dinner it was just a daily routine that my mom and I would walk back up to school, and we'd be let in by one of the janitors just so that I could get my homework from my desk so that I could do my homework that night. I think a common thread throughout school, and then even into my career as well, has been people telling me that I have talent or I have potential, but then never actually accomplishing anything, you know? So my parents decided to enroll me in a weekend drawing course at the local magnet school in my hometown, and that class was rough because it was basic fundamentals of art. You're just drawing shapes like boxes and cubes and cylinders, and then just shading them in based off where light is coming from, and I found it so boring. But actually I'm just now realizing for the next bit of this story I'm gonna need to walk to the art store, so see you in a bit. So I found the drawing class so unbearably boring, but by far my favorite part of it was this. This is a putty eraser. How do we get the plastic off? So here is the putty eraser in its full goodness. It's so good. I'm realizing now that this was my very first fidget toy, because I was in class just bored out of my mind after drawing 17 different cylinders, and I would just play with this, and I would never actually use this as an eraser because I didn't want to ruin it. I wanted to keep this forever, and that kind of marked the end of my formal art education because I'd just gotten so discouraged. I spent so much time in that class just wondering, when are we gonna get to learn how to draw Goku from Dragon Ball Z, actual things that I was interested in drawing and not just basic shapes, and that never really came. And I really struggled with learning things or making progress on something I was interested in, because I would get so bored on anything that was just not directly my interest. If it was, something like that art class, which learning to draw those shapes, I understand now, would have generally made me a better artist, right? And laid the groundwork for being able to artistically express myself in many different ways, but I just like, I couldn't do that. It was so boring. There was just like no, I didn't, the good, the really rewarding, satisfying feeling I got from drawing Goku, none of that was there when I was drawing those cylinders. And I think that's a really big challenge for me when trying to develop like a skill over time. I always wanted to be the class clown, but I wasn't very funny. And so what I really just ended up being quite annoying. So I would just like try and crack a joke in class and really just end up interrupting and annoying the teacher and the rest of class. And so then I kind of learned early on to temper those impulses to talk or to interrupt, and just internalize them. And also, oh my gosh, I don't know how I've like not said this so far. I was so disorganized throughout like my entire life. But in school, I just had absolutely no organization system whatsoever. Even though I had folders, I had binders, I would just stuff paper into my textbooks, into like between the front cover of my textbook and the first page, such that by the end of each school year, each one of my textbooks would just be bulging with half done homework and just like loose leaf notes and things like that, that were mostly just doodles and no actual helpful notes. And I eventually learned to get by, but like I was always losing homework. I was always scrambling to do homework just in the 5 minutes before class, or even like as class is starting and just before the teacher is like asking us to pass the homework forward. I'm just like trying to get one more question done, and it felt like I don't know how I managed to get through school, but I did manage to get through school somehow, just I guess on like smarts and just kind of like procrastination and getting things done just at the very last minute and just haphazardly. And that pattern definitely continued into college as well. And I think college was a bit better, because in college I could focus on courses and a major that interested me, and I felt like aligned with like a long-term goals that I had. So that I think kept me going a bit better. But it was still such a struggle, and I was still so disorganized nonetheless. Hi, I'm at work now. For this video, I was initially hoping that I would cover my entire life up until my adult ADHD diagnosis, but at this pace, this video would become about an hour long. So I'm going to mark this as the end of episode 1, and I'm gonna pick up where I left off in episode 2, which I'll try and post in the next few weeks. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Feel free to hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear where you're at in your ADHD journey if you're comfortable sharing, and also I'd love to hear if you have any feedback. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to see the future episodes, or really any of the future videos for me. I just started making these videos a few months ago, and I've been having a really good time. It's been a really lovely creative outlet, but I'm hoping to make videos not just about ADHD, I love to travel, and I just love going on adventures. So if any of that appeals to you, feel free to subscribe to follow along. And yeah, that's it. All right, bye.